It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. The room is burning without flames. Numbers crash, voices climb, and everyone looks for a life raft made of words. You don't offer one. You stand, you breathe, you say less than a sentence, and you say it once. Phones stop moving. The air changes shape. Panic is a tax paid by the weak. Your silence collects it. In a storm of noise, the man who does not flinch becomes the only fixed point on the map. People orient to you because you do not orient to them. You already know what shouting buys: attention without authority, movement without direction. Noise is the currency of the desperate. You are not buying. You keep your face still, your jaw neutral, your eyes steady. Calm is not kindness. Calm is control. Calm starves chaos. When you refuse to race, every sprinter reveals their fear in their stride. The shaky laugh, the fast promise, the overeager plan. You do not have to expose them. They expose themselves to fill at the silence you command. Machiavelli's rule is not a slogan, it is an instrument. If you must choose, choose fear, but the efficient kind, the quiet kind, the kind that does not bruise the air. The most effective edge is delivered without noise, because noise signals need. You do not need them to like you. You do not need them to understand you. Need is a leash they will gladly hold. You cut it. When you answer slowly, when you let a question hang like a blade between breaths, people feel the gravity of consequence. They begin to calculate. Think of the office crisis, the relationship argument, the online ambush. In each arena, the loudest player sets fires he cannot control. He explains, he justifies, he volunteers information that will be used against him. You do not explain. You set terms. You acknowledge, then you delay. You gather facts while others drain themselves. Most battles are won by stamina and sight, not speed. Calm buys both. Your pause is not empty time. It is a net. Everything frantic swims into it. Understand what fear really is here. It is not terror. It is not cruelty. It is the recognition that you can hurt outcomes, that you can say no, that you can walk away. The room senses this in the way you don't scramble, in the way you don't promise, in the way you don't mirror their pace. Deterrence lies in posture, not volume. A steady gaze writes a boundary sharper than any speech. Your quiet says, I will act, and I won't announce it twice. So here is the law of stillness. He who holds his face controls the field. Hold your breath for one more beat than the other man. Let your heartbeat choose the tempo of the room. Speak last. Ask the pointed question that lands like a weight, then wait. Every second you remain composed multiplies your leverage. Chaos needs oxygen. Your stillness suffocates it. If you must move, move once and cleanly. If you must speak, use small, heavy words that cannot be twisted without obvious fraud. This is not morality theater. It is survival, then advantage. You are not performing calm to look wise. You are using calm to make others show you where to cut. They will tell on themselves. They will overreach. They will trade their position for relief. You will keep yours for result. That is why stillness wins. It converts emotion into information, and information into power. You will be tempted to hurry. You will be tempted to explain. Resist both. The first man to flail loses the frame. The second man to speak writes it. Choose the second position on purpose. Choose the slower heartbeat on purpose. Choose the colder face on purpose. You are not here to soothe storms. You are here to set the weather. Be still, set terms, and rule. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. You've been told that calm means soft edges and easy smiles, a nice voice that never disturbs the water. That story is comfortable, and it is false. Calm can be a velvet curtain, or a steel door. One is hung to impress the crowd, the other is built to protect outcomes. When you confuse them, you trade power for approval and call it virtue. You nod, you rush to reassure, you smooth every wrinkle, while someone across from you quietly maps your boundaries and decides where to press. The trap of pleasantness begins with the craving to be seen as reasonable. You want to be liked, so you cushion your sentences, over-explain, and accept interruptions as if patience were a tax you owe. Then the testing starts. Can you stay late? Could you take this on? It won't be much. Are you free to talk now? Courtesy becomes a scalpel. No one needs to raise a voice. They only need to notice where your yes appears automatic. Pleasant calm is approval-seeking. Strategic calm is outcome-seeking. Pleasant calm asks, do they still like me? Strategic calm asks, does this serve the mission? In meetings, pressure often arrives wrapped in compliments. We value your flexibility. You're so good with people. Each phrase is a probe. They are not celebrating your kindness. They are measuring how far it can be stretched before it snaps. If you lead with warmth and offer limits later, they learn the sequence. Praise you, press you, collect. Strategic calm reverses the order. You state the boundary first, then you share the warmth. I won't extend the deadline. I can help you adjust scope. Respect first, friendliness after. People who want outcomes will adapt. People who want access will push. Your calm lets you tell them apart. At home, pleasantness buys short peace and long resentment. You say yes to avoid 5 awkward minutes and purchase a month of quiet bitterness. Strategic calm spends 5 uncomfortable minutes to save the month. You make eye contact, breathe once, and cut the script. No, that doesn't work for me. The silence that follows is not a threat. It is a mirror. If they escalate, you're informed. If they adjust, you've set a new normal. Your calm separates stillness from surrender, and your life stops bleeding from 1,000 agreeable cuts. Now the mirage of mutual understanding. In conflict, much understanding is negotiation theater designed to rush you into explaining yourself. The person who rushes to explain steps out of position, burns time, and hands the other side a free map of motives and fears. Meanwhile, the person who waits gathers altitude. They watch how you fill silence, which phrases you repeat to feel safe, and which outcomes you can't bear to lose. The one who doesn't rush gains time, information, and psychological height. Talk first is often self-betrayal. Observe first is strategy. Consider a workplace dispute in a public channel. A colleague questions your decision and tags leadership. Your urge is to dump paragraphs of context to prove you're right. Instead, you use strategic calm. You write one line, let's review the requirements at 3. No defense, no essay. The clock and the calendar do the heavy lifting. Between now and 3, tempers cool, the audience disperses, and you gather receipts, metrics, approvals, constraints. In the meeting, you ask 2 clean questions, then present the facts in 4 sentences. Theatrics die in daylight. Your calm turned time into an ally. Relationships run the same script. We just need to talk can be honest repair, or a way to drag you into theater. Talking is useful when it follows clarity. It is sabotage when it replaces it. If you have communicated your boundary, more words do not make it truer. They only make it cheaper. A calm pause is not cruelty. It is signal control. You are telling the other person, I will not buy peace with self-betrayal. When you stop paying that price, you stop teaching people to charge it. Smiles can be armor and bait at the same time. A warm expression lowers suspicion. The quiet that follows becomes a vacuum. The other person rushes to fill. Use this ethically. Calm eye contact, slow response windows, measured breathing. Wait 3 seconds longer than feels natural. Most people will reveal what they want you to know and what they never intended to say. They confess with filler. Honestly, to be fair, if I'm being real, calm turns silence into a mirror, and people speak to escape their own reflection. You don't coerce, you allow. Picture a salary negotiation. The manager smiles, praises your contributions, then names a number below market. You smile back and say nothing. 20 seconds stretch. Your stillness becomes a scale that weighs their words. Many will break the silence to justify, and while they justify, they disclose. Budget is tight this quarter. We could revisit in 6 months. There might be a signing bonus. Options appear that they weren't planning to offer, extracted not by aggression, but by disciplined warmth and patience. Strategic calm is leverage without noise. Or imagine dating in the attention economy. A charming message arrives, full of emojis and "you're so different" rhetoric. Instead of pouring your story into the chat, you protect it. You keep responses concise and time-delayed, not to play games, but to verify intent. Real interest persists across response windows. Performative interest expires when the audience leaves. Your warmth is genuine, but it is not a promise. You're evaluating. You watch whether they respect pace, whether they ask real questions, whether their actions match their claims. Smiles create access tests. Silence reveals patterns. Smiles as armor, smiles as bait. The same face can hide intent or harvest truth. The difference is your purpose. If your goal is to be liked, your smile becomes a leash they hand back to you. If your goal is to learn and decide, your smile becomes a tool that steadies the room while information surfaces. Calm eye contact, slow replies, and clean sentences are not cold. They are precise. Precision is how you protect your future from other people's moods. Strategic calm is not the absence of feeling, it is the governance of expression. You eliminate noise so the signal stands alone. You separate respect from entertainment and affection from access. You stop over-explaining and start observing. You let people show you their pattern without the interference of your anxiety. The result is not a harder heart, it is a cleaner contract. You are less readable, which makes you less usable. And when you do choose softness, it is a gift, not a payment. The myth says calm must be nice. The truth says calm must be true. It can carry a smile or a silence, a nod or a firm no. The test is simple. Does your calm protect the outcome and your integrity at the same time? If not, you are being pleased into weakness. Step out of the theater. Step into the room where facts, boundaries, and time do the work. Let your presence speak until words are required, and then use only the necessary ones. Calm is not compliance. Calm is control. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You think you are deciding in the room, but your wounds have already chosen. Abandonment, status, anxiety, humiliation. The ancient fear of being small sit behind your face like quiet engineers. They set your jaw, tighten your throat, and lift your shoulders. Then a message lands, a tone shifts, and your body moves before strategy even wakes. This is a mirror, not a confession. You are not weak, you are wired. You can rewire. Start with a trigger map. Think like a detective, not a poet. Disrespect, a smirk, a clipped relax, a teammate who cuts you off mid-sentence. The first tell is breath held high in the chest, then the voice climbs half a step, then words tumble faster to outrun the sting. Exclusion, the side chat you were not in, the decision announced without you. The eyes harden, the body leans forward to reclaim space. And you over-explain to prove you belong. Public doubt, a question wrapped in a smile. Are we sure you've tested this? The tone goes brittle, the smile gets fixed. and you answer the question they didn't ask just to look prepared. Money threat. Budget is tight. Shoulders round. Sentences shrink. And you volunteer concessions they never requested. Each wound has a footprint. Learn yours. Now, notice the leak of need. Need is loud. Calm evaporates when you need validation, immediate resolution, or to be seen as good. The louder the inner plea, the clearer your map appears to the other side. If you need validation, you chase agreement instead of leverage, right? Slides onto the end of sentences like a door you hope they will hold for you. If you need immediate resolution, you trade time for a feeling. You accept the first counteroffer just to quiet your chest. If you need to look good, you perform helpfulness and abandon outcomes. Need turns you into a lighthouse for hunters. They navigate by you. Look at the public square, and you will see the marketplace of need. The influencer who must be adored posts apologies that confess nothing, measuring morality by comments. The founder who needs to look tough fires off sarcasm at midnight and calls it transparency. The friend who aches to be included floods the group thread with laughing faces after every line, padding silence with proof of belonging. In offices, the manager hungry to be the hero jumps in unasked and blows the timeline with helpfulness. Each is broadcasting the same signal. Here is where I can be touched. When you leak need, you publish your coordinates. From temper to tell, the price is the same. You pay with information. Anger feels like energy, but it is really a printout of your buttons. Sarcasm feels like control, but it is a label for your insecurity. Venting feels like relief, but relief is a loan that accrues interest in lost positioning. Your opponent takes notes while you perform. The more colorful the performance, the clearer the map. Expression is not the enemy. Ungoverned expression is. Composure is not fakery. It is containment. You can let the storm pass through without handing over your steering wheel. Consider a negotiation. They say, given the market, your rate is high. Your words hurry to justify. You cite projects, testimonials, certifications. You think you are building a wall. You are laying down a path to your pressure point, the fear of appearing greedy. A better move is stillness. Ask, what range did you have in mind? Then be quiet. Silence is not a weapon. It is a boundary that lets their need show first. In romance, the same law holds. A late reply triggers the old abandonment alarm, and you send 3 messages to fix a story that lives in your chest, not in their phone. Pause, breathe low. Let the moment reveal reality before your wound writes fiction. Practice the mechanics. Relief buys the feeling now and sells tomorrow's options. Composure buys time and choice. This is not suppression, it is transmutation. The energy that would spill out in a monologue becomes the force that tightens your frame and slows your breath. Train the body first. In conflict, drop your breath to the belly for 2 full cycles. Lower your voice by half a note. Count 3 beats before you answer. Plant both feet and lengthen the exhale. These are not theatrics, they are levers for your nervous system. The mind follows the body's lead. Build your trigger map into ritual. Before a hard call, write 3 lines. What could sting? What is my tell? What will I do instead? If disrespect appears, your instead is a question, not a defense. What outcome are you proposing? If exclusion appears, your instead is boundary, not apology. Decisions that touch my remit include me. Let's reset the process. If public doubt appears, your instead is scope. Which part would you like to examine first? If money threat appears, your instead is terms, not haste. Let's align on value and delivery milestones. Counter the leak of need with commitments you make in advance. Need for validation becomes self-validation. Set your standard before the meeting and measure yourself by it afterward. Need for immediate resolution becomes temporal buffer. Place 24 hours between proposal and signature, between text and reply, between anger and action. Need to be seen as good becomes a metric of good. Define good as clear agreements and steady delivery, not universal approval. Praise is weather. Integrity is climate. Choose climate. Finally, treat temper as telemetry. Every surge points to a past scene that still votes in the present. You cannot amputate your shadow, but you can seat it at the table without giving it the pen. After conflict, write a brief surgeon's report. Trigger, bodily cue, behavior, outcome, cost. Then rehearse the next scene in calm. Your nervous system needs reps the way your muscles do. 5 minutes of visualization is not fluff, it is firmware. Picture the insult, feel the heat rise, breathe low, pick the question you will ask, and watch the moment slow. Repetition teaches the body it has choices. You are not trying to win every moment. You are trying to keep your plan alive long enough to work. Master the trigger map, seal the leak of need, and convert temper into data. Your face stops moving first. Your strategy stops dying early. The shadow remains, but it is lit by you, not driving you. Calm first, then speak. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can touch. Here is the anatomy of losing yourself in public. Minute 0. A small provocation hits an offhand jab in a meeting, a snide line in a group chat, a vague post aimed at you. Minute 1. You answer fast. The message is longer than it should be, edged with heat. You are not persuading. You are bleeding. Minute 2. Replies arrive. Screenshots surface. The crowd wakes. Minute 5. You begin to justify context, backstory, private details that never belonged online. Minute 9. A new angle appears, something you forgot to account for. Minute 12. You contradict a piece of your first reply. Minute 15. The apology tour begins. Not to the person actually harmed, but to the public gallery. Minute 18. Your leverage disappears. People read your rush, not your reason. The hour is lost, and with it, a slice of your identity. Do not pretend this spiral is rare. Leaders, founders, and lovers walk it every week. A critic posts a half-truth at 9:02. At 9:04, your rebuttal goes live. At 9:07, they publish a receipt you forgot they had. At 9:10, your tone curdles into sarcasm. At 9:12, you declare you don't care, yet you are still typing at 9:20. The audience marks the timestamps like notches on a ruler. This is not a debate, it is a test of pulse. The first to pant loses the race. Enemy. Strategy is simple. Provoke a fast reply, then widen the hole with calm pressure. They do not need perfect facts. They need your hurry. They release new angles in measured intervals and let you speak too much. When you contradict yourself, they pause so the echo grows. When you soften, they appear reasonable. When you harden, they appear patient. The trap is tempo. The attack is not the insult. The attack is the pace you accept. Understand what breaks calm. Ego, caffeine, group chats, and the fantasy that one more post will fix it. The fix is not another post. The fix is a governor on your impulses. Draft and hold. Call one trusted ally. Leave the screen. Check the mirror, not the feed. The goal is not to look clever in the moment. The goal is to leave no fingerprints on your dignity. The crowd and the clock move together. They judge not by the facts, but by the frame. You know this. A video with flawless logic but frantic delivery feels guilty. A statement with fewer facts but steady breath feels true. Calm reads as innocence. Haste reads as guilt. Time magnifies both. If you wait an hour while your critic posts 5 times, your silence becomes architecture. It suggests you are either above the quarrel or busy leading. If you fire 10 messages in 10 minutes, the volume functions as confession. People do not audit every claim, they measure rate of breath. Tie your reputation to tempo control. Think of markets. Volatility scares investors more than a single bad quarter. People hedge against turbulence. Allies do the same. When you go loud, they go quiet. Not because they hate you, because exposure to your storm threatens their own plans. They have boards, families, reputations. They will stand back until your wind settles. People bet on the steady hand. Watch how support rallies when you are composed. A measured, one-paragraph statement at the right time pulls in moderates who respect boundaries. A clean refusal to engage invites those who play long games. Your critics grow cautious when they cannot read your pulse. Calm is control of the frame, which is control of the field. Tempo control is reputation management disguised as self-command. Choose your hour and your battlefield. Draft on paper where no one can screenshot your breath. Ask what you gain by moving now, and what you risk by letting the clock work for you. Delay can be strength. Decisive action can be strength when facts and allies are ready. The rule is simple. Never let your enemy choose both the time and the stage. Consider a modern case. Someone accuses you of playing favorites on your team. You want to pour out months of context. Don't. Say, I hear the concern. I will review the decisions and share a clear summary by Friday. Then, do the work. Pull data, collect statements, speak to 2 neutral voices, and publish 1 calm page with dates and principles. You moved once. With weight. The crowd reads posture more than paragraphs. They will see a spine. Another case. A former partner posts a personal story. Your DMs beg for a response. You do not perform a thread. You do not drag private memories into public mud. You write 1 dignified line to your inner circle. I will not discuss private matters online. You hold. Let time render the contrast. Their broadcast versus your silence. The longer the clock runs, the heavier your restraint looks. Time is the anvil, your calm is the hammer. Enemies time their push for maximum damage when you are most likely to chase late night, after a loss, before a launch. They rely on your need to close loops. Break the loop instead. Delay is not denial, it is design. If you must answer, do it through a controlled channel legal counsel, an internal memo, a short, exact statement. Cut adverbs, cut heat. State facts and boundaries, not feelings. The public does not want your diary. They want proof you are still fit to steer. Your identity can survive an attack. It cannot survive your own flailing. Each contradiction is a small self-betrayal, a mirror cracked by your hand. Each apology offered to the mob rather than the harmed is a coin of authority spent for nothing. The apology tour rarely buys peace, it rents a day. Pay once, cleanly, to the right person, and rebuild with action. Stop offering discounts on your name. You are not a victim of the feed unless you accept its tempo. You are a player who can slow the board. Do less, move once. People with power do not wrestle in every ring. They select the room and meet there with records and witnesses. Your life cannot be lived as crisis management. It must be run as statecraft. When composure fails, identity falls into pieces, and your enemies do not have to break you. They only have to wait while you break yourself. Refuse the rush. Protect your pulse. Make the cost of breaking calm unforgettable by counting it in advance. Allies silenced, leverage burned, hours lost, dignity pawned. Hold your line. Make time your ally and the crowd a witness. Move once, with calm and weight. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Drop the love story and see the room. There is a table. On it, terms, timelines, and the cost of your attention. Calm is the table, smooth, flat, non-negotiable. When you sit there, you stop trying to win hearts and start writing agreements. Harmony is what people sing after the deal is set. Before that, it is posturing, mirroring, and tests. Affection versus terms. You can feel a spark and still ask, what are we each here to get? You can like someone and still ask, what does this cost me? Calm separates the rush from the rules. In the rush, you overpay. In calm, you measure. When your phone lights up at midnight with a "you up," you don't perform outrage or beg for clarity. You test alignment. Here are my hours, my availability, what I reward, and what I ignore. No threats, no pleas, just policy. If the behavior matches the policy, proximity increases. If it doesn't, distance returns. This is how you negotiate without raising your voice. At work, the manager who loves the team but loads weekends onto you is not loving you. He is subsidizing his weakness with your time. Calm answers with terms. I protect Saturdays. If the project needs more, we adjust scope or compensation. You don't argue about kindness. You define costs. In friendships, the friend who only appears when his car breaks down is not loyal. He is opportunistic. Calm replies with structure. I'm available once. After that, he arranges his own tow. Respect before warmth. You can be liked for being available, entertaining, and easy. That is not respect. Respect arrives when your state does not swing with other people's moods. Volatility forfeits authority. The person who cannot hold their own weather cannot lead anyone through a storm. So you train your face. You slow your breathing. You move like the hour hand. When a partner provokes to see if you will spiral, you do not lecture. You shorten the arena. I don't engage with shouting. We can talk at noon when we're both calm. Modern life rewards drama, but leadership is scored by stability. Consider messages. You don't fire off paragraphs to correct impressions. You offer one clear line and a choice. Here's what I'm doing at 7. You're welcome to join. When they say, maybe, you treat it as a no and continue. Scarcity is not cruelty. It is schedule. In the attention economy, the rarest resource is your unreactive presence. Guard it, and people will guard it with you. Spill it, and they will mop it up and ask for more. Boundaries are quiet contracts. A boundary declared once and enforced calmly becomes gravity. Predictability builds trust. Trust reduces the urge to test. You do not need to defend your boundary a second time if you execute it the first time. You do not need to explain it at length. Long explanations leak authority. You announce, you act, you return to neutral. The pattern teaches faster than the paragraph. Here is how it looks. You tell a date. You do not respond during deep work blocks. When they double text 15 times at noon, you do not punish or perform distance. You respond at 5 as planned, in the same tone as always. The schedule is the enforcement. Over the next week, the flood shrinks to match your rhythm. If it does not, the mismatch exposes itself without a fight. In family, when a relative uses guilt to recruit you for every event, you do not debate the guilt. You decline once with respect and you stick to it. In social media, you set a response window for comments and DMs. You reward thoughtful messages inside the window. You ignore bait outside it. The rule is simple. The enforcement is silent. Over time, the room learns. The serious stay, the noisy drift. Calm trims the garden without waving the shears. None of this is coldness. It is care with a backbone. Calm protects the very warmth you want by fencing it. The myth says love erases incentives. Realism says incentives shape love. When terms are clear, affection can breathe. When terms are vague, affection must become surveillance checking, guessing, decoding tone. That is how people end up loving ghosts. They chase meaning that contracts could have settled in 10 minutes. So you return to the table. You write the rules you can live with. You share them once. You keep them, especially when you are tired, lonely, or tempted. Then you watch what survives your calm. The people who value you will tune to your tempo. The people who fed on your volatility will starve and leave. Both are good outcomes. You did not lose love. You stopped mispricing your attention. Calm is the contract that protects love. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Carl Jung. You train stillness the way a fighter trains guard, not for beauty, but for survival. Your shadow, rage, vanity, panic, the urge to please doesn't vanish because you promise to be calm. It quiets when it meets a system. Today, you build one. Replace personality with protocol. When emotion climbs the ladder, the protocol takes the wheel. First, pre-commitments the rules you live, not the slogans you post. Write 3 on paper and save them in your phone. A. Never answer at peak emotion. B. Never negotiate live. C. Never show surprise. These are not morals, they are seatbelts. When heat surges, you run micro drills. Breathe, note, delay. Breathe, slow, 4 count in, 6 count out, twice. Note, label what arises anger, fear, ego, as if you were a scientist, not a defendant. Delay. Say, let me circle back, then schedule your review. Practice these drills in safe reps. Pause before replying to a friend's spicy meme, before answering a manager's surprise question, before reacting to a bill you didn't expect. Repetition builds reflex. When the real storm hits, your body knows the people en route to quiet. Second, information asymmetry. Stillness isn't quietism, it's collection. You speak last, because speed serves the other side's agenda. Ask specific questions that force detail. What date did this happen? Who was on the call? What did we agree to in writing? Let people expand their claims while you take notes. Contradictions appear when stories are asked to carry weight. If someone says, everyone agrees you dropped the ball, you ask, which people by name? If a partner claims, we said we'd waive fees, you ask, point me to the clause and the date that was agreed. Your calm questions turn fog into shapes. Keep messages short and factual. 1 claim per sentence, no adjectives you will later regret. Example, instead of, this is outrageous and unfair, write, invoice #24 differs from the signed scope by $3,200. Third, response windows. Without them, the shadow runs the clock. In person, a default 30-second pause before substantive replies. Count a breath, sip water, jot a word. Over text or email, 3 hours for ordinary issues, 24 hours for formal matters. This is not ghosting, it's governance. Useful templates. Acknowledged. Reviewing update by 4 p.m. Received. Confirming facts and will revert tomorrow. These buy time without bleeding authority. Use acknowledge not answer messages to hold the frame. Got this reviewing and will respond by 5 p.m. Received. I'll check the contract and get back to you tomorrow. When stakes rise, extend the window as needed and communicate the exact time you will respond. Fourth, face control the physical protocol. Your body is your press release. Neutral jaw, steady breath, soft eyes, shoulders down and back. No head shakes, eye rolls, or nervous laughs on provocation. Practice in a mirror for 5 minutes. Read a hostile sentence and keep the same expression you would use to order coffee. Record calls and watch the first minute of your speaking. Remove the rising pitch. the apologetic filler, the breathless rush. Build a few reliable anchors you can trigger under stress. Thumb on pen. Exhale through the nose. Relax the tongue from the palate. Now crisis chess. 3 boards, always in order. Board 1, stabilize optics. You control appearance before outcome. Move the conversation to a contained channel. Let's step into the conference room. We will address this on a single email thread. We'll reconvene at 3 p.m. with notes. You remove spectators because panic feeds on audience. Board 3, reopen on your terms. Set the time, the agenda, and, when wise, a witness. We'll meet at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Agenda, scope, costs, timeline. Legal will attend. When you set the stage, you set the speed. Board 2, reduce surface area. Stop talking. Make no new claims, no theories, no jokes to lighten the mood. Ask for particulars and write them down. What is the precise claim and what remedy is requested? Collect documents, dates, and names. End with a clean next step. We'll pause here. I'll review the file and send a written summary. We'll reconvene tomorrow at 10. I'll bring the contract. Please bring your written notes. To live this system, rehearse. Each morning, 1 drill from each category. Pre-commitment, write your 3 rules as a single line and speak them in 1 exhale. Information asymmetry, draft 2 questions that would force detail on a current project. Response window, prepare an acknowledge not answer message you might need today and paste it into your notes. Face control, hold soft eyes for 60 seconds while a friend reads a heated line or play a clip and keep the coffee order face. Crisis chess, script a 1-minute opening that states agenda, time, and witness. Your shadow will not applaud this. It will whisper, if you delay, you'll look weak. If you breathe, they'll think you're scared. If you speak last, you'll lose the room. That is the old bargain. React first to feel safe. But safety purchased with impulsivity is counterfeit. Better to feel the burn in your chest and obey the rule you wrote in cold blood than to chase relief and pay for it for months. You aren't suppressing emotion. You're assigning it a seat that is not the driver's seat. Jung called it integration. The animal is seen, named, and leashed. Modern life rewards the loud and punishes the unprepared. Notifications are designed to break your response windows. Your protocol is a rebellion against this economy. When a coworker drops a "need this now," you acknowledge, not answer. When a date tests your boundaries with last-minute changes, you decline without drama and restate your preference for plans. When a client escalates on a call, you hold the coffee order face while you take notes and slow the tempo. You will slip. You will answer at peak emotion, argue, live, show surprise. When you do, you repair using the same system. Acknowledge the error, restate the rule, reopen on your terms. I responded too quickly earlier. I'm reviewing and will get back to you by noon tomorrow. This isn't humiliation, it's leadership. Rooms trust the person who can self-correct more than the person who pretends they never feel heat. Here is your compact. Rules you live, not moods you serve. 30 seconds, 3 hours, 24 hours, soft eyes, few words, written questions, agenda in hand. The shadow does not disappear, but it learns who is in command. And command, in your life, is not a feeling. It is a protocol executed under pressure. Calm is my protocol, and my protocol is my power. In a storm, the ruler who breathes last decides first. You buy outcomes by refusing the first impulse. Delay is a currency. You spend it, and the market moves. When you do not rush to strike, enemies begin to mark your measure and check their footing. They wonder what you know that they missed. Neutrals, watching for advantage, lean toward you because you look like a safe harbor. You ask the extra question in the meeting, and the room slows to your rhythm. A rash proposal wilts under its own heat. You wait a day to answer the provocation, and the other side burns through its leverage in public bluster while you gather facts. You hold your face when the deal shifts, and the person across the table starts offering concessions to draw you out. Calm is not decoration. It is leverage that compounds. A 5-minute pause prevents a 5-month repair. One measured reply turns a critic into a quiet ally because you gave them a path to retreat without humiliation. Delay, used with purpose, makes your silence the loudest fact in the room. Tangible wins arrive quickly. The client who tested your urgency learns you are not bait. They stop sprinting you into mistakes and begin sending you the real calendar. The colleague who thrives on chaos cannot pull you into their schedule because you live by outcomes, not alarms. Your team stops mirroring panic and starts mirroring your breathing. They make fewer errors, and the numbers show it. Enemies become cautious because you do not telegraph desire. Neutrals become curious because your restraint signals depth. In the attention economy, the one who does not flinch owns the frame. Every message you don't answer in heat returns to you with better terms. Once you master your face, you master tempo. Once you master tempo, you set terms. A steady expression is not theater. It is a metronome. It tells everyone when the song starts and when it ends. You control the first response window, never instant, always intentional, and people begin to time themselves to you. You ask for written proposals, not hallway promises, and suddenly the air clears. You define when decisions are made and in what order. Confusion evaporates because you impose sequence, facts, options, trade-offs, decision, execution. Tempo becomes policy. Crisis arrives. You reduce it to a checklist, and panic has nowhere to sit. You treat interruptions as petitions for time, not commands, and your calendar hardens into a fortress. This is not mysticism. It is logistics. Control the clock, and you control the contract. Control your pulse, and you control the room. Modern life rewards the one who refuses to be farmed by urgency. You use a simple rule. First breath, then words. You buy yourself a count of 5 before you answer. And in that small republic you remove insult, isolate, signal, and choose aims. You keep a neutral resting face that neither flatters nor threatens. It saves you from accidental promises. You set office hours for decisions and refuse to adjudicate important matters in chat windows and corridors. People adapt, and respect follows the root of the habit. When pressure spikes, you slow your movements by half and lower your voice. Others must lean in to hear you, and leaning is agreement's first posture. Your calm turns anxiety into information. Your stillness turns noise into leverage. Now the quiet crown, a long table, many agendas, screens glow like small fires. You enter, not hurried, not slow exactly on the beat you decide. You sit, align your notes, and let the room exhaust its nervous energy. You do not correct the first exaggeration. You let it hang until it condemns itself. When you speak, it is brief, concrete, final. You ask for costs, for time, for names who will do the work. You do not raise your voice. The room lowers theirs. You do not chase attention. It arrives and waits. People stop talking to impress you and start talking to satisfy you. You end with assignments, dates, and the next time you will listen. The door closes. Order remains. They leave with your tempo in their bones. Be still, set terms, and let the world move to you.